Hey everyone, welcome back for 31 Days of Healthy Relationship Tips. I am Sharon J. Lawrence, licensed clinical social worker and your host for all of December. And so I'm super excited because I am joined by the amazing Funlayo Alabi, the CEO and co-founder of Shea, Radiance. And if you're not familiar with it, you need to be, but I'm not going to do a whole lot of talking. But let me say this part. We are in week 5. Wow. We're in week 5, in day 30, and we're coming to the end. We only have tonight and one more night, and then I have a special treat for you on the 1st. So I'm super excited about that. But I can't wait for you to hear what Funlayo has to say to us tonight. So this is going to be amazing. So without further ado, Funlayo Alabi, CEO of Shea Radiance. How are you?
Hi, Sharon. I am doing great.
Awesome. Thank you so much for saying yes. I'm so appreciative.
It's my pleasure. I'm so honored to be on this live broadcast on Facebook. It's an honor to be able to be the 30th day and to be able to kind of talk about things that take us beyond resolutions, but actually just sharing a little bit from my experience on some tips and techniques that I'm still trying to walk in, to be more productive in the new year.
Absolutely. So this is going to be amazing. So before we jump into that, can you give the viewers an idea of who you are? What is it that you do with Shea Radiance and any other ventures you may have, and where are you located?
All right. So I am Funlayo Alabi, and I am an entrepreneur. I am the co-founder of a beauty brand called Shea Radiance. And you can find our brand online at shearadiance.com. A little bit about Shea Radiance. I started this company about 10 years ago with my husband because my younger son had really bad eczema. Mm-hmm. And so we started mixing shea butter and other oils in our kitchen, using it on his skin. Mm-hmm. And we realized that we had found a solution to dry eczema-prone skin. And one thing led to another. I would leave my 9-to-5 job in DC. I'd get home in the evening, make products. And then on the weekends, I would go to local farmers markets to sell these shea butter-based products. So that's kind of how we started the business. Mm-hmm. And now you can find our products at many of your local Whole Food stores, a lot of the natural and organic stores. You can find us on Amazon. And we're just, 2020, we're going to be in a lot more retail stores, but I will wait to share some of those new outlets that we'll be getting into next year.
Okay. So, yeah. This is awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And so I know we had an opportunity to meet, 2018 we met. Yes. At the Gen X Ladies Conference. So that was amazing. I met some beautiful and amazing woman when I was there. I had never heard of it until Adiola reached out to me. Mm-hmm. And I was like, ever since then, I've been connected to some amazing people. So I'm grateful that you're joining me tonight. And again, congratulations on what you're doing, because I remember your testimony at that conference.
Yeah.
Yes. And so this is awesome. So you said Whole Foods and Amazon, right?
Yes. And also our regular website, shearadiance.com. That's where you can find the whole line of our natural and organic based products. And one more thing, Sharon, that I wanted to share about our brand is when we started this business, using shea butter as a key ingredient, we started traveling back to West Africa, to Nigeria and Ghana. And so we source our raw shea butter directly from women-run cooperatives. So another part of our business is that we want to economically provide a source of income to the women who work with us. Mm-hmm. So just like you and I as business owners and as professionals need opportunities to provide our services to customers who will pay us, we do the same thing for the women in our supply chain. We are like a steady market for them to make income to take care of their families. So I'm pretty excited about that piece of the business.
That's amazing. That's truly amazing. And you recently got a shout out from, I believe her name is Adrienne, Jada Pinkett's mom.
Yes,
on Red
Gammy. Oh yeah,
Gammy.
yeah.
Gammy from Red Table Talk.
Yes, yes.
Actually, she basically highlighted and spotlighted
Mm-hmm.
Shea Radiance as a recommended product.
Yes.
That's awesome. And that was just about what, 2 weeks ago, I
Yeah,
think.
2 weeks ago, it was on
Yeah.
her holiday, her top 10 holiday gift
Awesome.
products. Yeah, it
Okay.
was awesome.
Okay.
Hmm.
Awesome. Okay. Recommended by Gammy.
There you go.
So this is great. Red Table Talk.
Yes,
Um, and so now we're going to jump right into it because
yeah.
you're doing some amazing things. You have a lot of opportunities that are available to women in Nigeria and Ghana. I guess it's in both
Mhm.
locations, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And so you're creating opportunities for them, which means that this is an international enterprise at this time. And
Yes,
so that
yes.
means you're traveling a lot, you're managing a lot of people. There's money flowing every which way, and you're trying to make sure everything's okay. So that leads us right into basically how to have a healthy relationship with work. And
Yeah.
your topic tonight is, do you know what you want?
Mm-hmm.
So let's jump right into it. What does that mean? Do you know what you want when it comes to having a healthy relationship with work?
So, do you know what you really want? So, I'm going to make assumptions that in our audience we have, some very high power professionals. We have people who are thinking of starting their own businesses. We have people who are already in business for themselves. And part of what I want to share is knowing what you want. Some of it will be very obvious to you up front, and some of it dawns on you over time. And I'm going to kind of share a little bit of my story and my journey. And I hope we have lots of questions so that I can respond to them and make sure that I'm, really answering the questions that people have about the things they're struggling with.
Right.
So as an entrepreneur, when I first started my business, as I mentioned earlier on, I was working a 9-to-5 job in IT.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was also starting a business from our kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And as you can imagine, my relationship with work was crazy.
Yeah, I can
um,
imagine.
yes. And then my youngest son he was still a toddler around that time. So
Okay.
between doing the 9-to-5 and having to show up for the corporate and then putting things together at home and taking care of the family, I was really stressed. But I was running on adrenaline because during that season in life, I was really excited about this new brand that we were bringing to life. And I didn't feel stressed, even though I should have felt stressed because everything was new and it was exciting.
Right.
And as we started developing the business, it became clear to me that I couldn't continue with my 9-to-5 and be an entrepreneur in a way that was sustainable.
Right.
And so in terms of knowing what you want, and especially going into the new year, I suspect there are people that are going to come to a decision or crisis point in their life where they're juggling their side hustle, their main job, and trying to decide, which one they need to let go of in order to have a healthy life.
Right.
And for me, letting go of my 9-to-5 became the decision that I had to make because my relationship with my corporate job was becoming unhealthy for me to continue. The business I was doing on the side and the impact it could have became more clear to me as I was doing more of it. And I realized that the corporate world was not giving me what I needed in terms of being my best self. And so after a while, I had to terminate that relationship, take a step of faith, step away from corporate life, and then jump into full-time entrepreneurship.
Right. Wow.
So that was one step
Yeah.
that I had to take in terms of having a healthy relationship. Now, going into entrepreneurship can be all consuming because you're building something new from scratch. And I'm not sure if that's something the people listening can identify with.
And we talked about that last night as well, making sure that people aren't allowing it to consume you. So please, this is right in line with that. So please continue.
Yes. And in the early phases, because you have so much work to do, you're the bookkeeper, product maker, you know, if you have kids, you're also the caretakers.
That's right.
There's just so much going on. And I will say you would need to give yourself some permission to have a season of craziness, you know, getting your business started. That is not unusual.
Right.
But I think that it will get to a point where you have to be clear about why you are doing the business, or if it's the event of a career that where you're trying to grow, to figure out, why am I doing what I'm doing?
Right.
One of the reasons I wanted to have my own business was, obviously I wanted to be profitable. I wanted to create great products that solved a problem, but I also wanted a lifestyle. I wanted to be present for my family. I wanted to be a mother and a wife that had time to enjoy family life, vacations, and those intangible things that, you know, at the end of your years, you look back out and say, okay, I invested my life wisely.
Right.
And so the business, as well as our jobs, really are a means to that end. And so, knowing, kind of keeping that front and center is really important. Even though you may not achieve that balance in the short term, just knowing at the back of your mind that this is really what I'm going for, so that you can check in with yourself and make sure that you're not veering off course. But it's a really tough thing to do when you start your business.
Okay, y'all got that? I hope y'all getting this. We're getting a lot of hearts and a lot of thumbs up. So this is good. It's definitely resonating with people. Let's see who's here. Yvette is here. Lisa is here. Latasha is here. I know there's others. I just can't see it. Yeah, there's others here. Let me know you're here. Say hello so me and Funlayo can actually say hello back. So we want to know who's here. We want to connect with you. But thank you for the hearts and the thumbs up, letting us know that you're with us for this segment. This is good information. A lot of entrepreneurs are on here, Funlayo. So that's wonderful. That's a good thing. Yep. So you're speaking to people. I saw them when they started jumping on, but now it just gives me the lump number. But please continue. So go. Either elaborate or let's go into the whole piece of, you said knowing what you want. Hey, Angela, and Angela works, she's a teacher and she has a company. And so she's also, and has small children. So yeah, so she is doing what you were doing.
Wonderful. Yeah. So, I mean, one of the things I would say is that while you're, you know, doing, while you're burning the midnight candle, doing your full-time job and doing your side gig, just know that starting a company, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon, and it's going to take much longer than you ever imagined. And I want to share a little bit of my story, and I hope it helps someone, just in terms of some of the challenges I had on the way, and how that really helped me realize the importance of having that healthy relationship with work, and figuring out what my non-negotiables were as I continue to build this business. Okay. So, like I said, if you don't remember anything I said, it's going to take a lot longer than you think to get to where you want to go. So along the way, you have to exhale. You have to practice self-care, and you have to remember what your priorities are. So one of the testimonies I shared that Sharon heard at the GEMS event was, after building my business full-time for about 3 years, we had a great opportunity to get into a big box store. And part of getting into that big box store was that we had to work our buns off trying to fulfill this huge purchase order, because we knew that once we got into this store, and the store was Target, that we thought we would be able to exhale and say, okay, we've arrived, you know, our revenue stream is locked in, everything is good. And now, you know, we can just cruise a little bit, because right up to this time, we had just been doing a lot of work to get our products out into the market. I was doing a lot of events. My kids' bedtimes were erratic because sometimes we would have to be up late producing products. And, I'm a Nigerian. And so what I do, I'll just put my younger son on my back, strap him to my back. And we would be mixing products and, completing orders. But we felt that this would take us to the next step of our growth.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things we found in the process of putting everything on hold and just being focused on, getting our products into Target and being able to meet all their needs was that our lives got really out of balance. Mm. And part of in addition to being out of balance, we were also struggling to maintain our position in the store. So we suffered a lot of a huge financial hit after about maybe 18 months of being in the store. Mm-hmm. And it seemed like everything we had sacrificed to get there had not panned out. Right. And so while we were going through this, my husband and I looked at each other and we were like, okay, what is important to us? And is it worth even continuing this business? Mm-hmm. If you go back to your 9-to-5 job, at least you know what you're facing. Right. And, our conversation, the conversation we had led us to believe that God really wanted us to continue doing this business because we were solving a problem. We were creating access and opportunities to women in our supply chain. But he wanted us to really reorganize our priorities. Mm-hmm. So one of the things we did that helped us get a more healthy relationship with our business and our work was we decided that we were going to change churches. Mm-hmm. We felt that really putting God first, not just saying it, but actually putting some action behind saying that our relationship with God was a priority for us was changing churches. Mm-hmm. And for us, it meant that finding a smaller church where we were not just spectators, but that we would be forced to engage and do meaningful projects that would have positive impact on people's lives. Right. So the whole disaster, financial and business disaster, really allowed us to kind of tweak our priorities. And so putting God at the center of everything we did became key. Mm-hmm. The other priority we realized that we could not compromise on was the importance of family. Mm. When you're building your business, your kids are still growing and they had needs. And the tendency might be to put off their needs. And one day, because this thing is a marathon, it might take you 5, 7 years, 10 years, 15 years to be that overnight success. But your kids are still growing. They're going through elementary, middle, and high school. And you can't put off their needs while you're building this business. So you need wisdom to make sure that you're bringing your family along. Right. There are a lot of people who have built successful companies at the expense of their families because they keep thinking that if I can just put one more month in, or if I can just put everything on hold for another year, I'll come back and pick up where I left off. Right. I think that is a huge fallacy because by the time you achieve the success you want, your family is not going to be where you left them. The kids could have graduated and gone to college and you've missed a lot of opportunities to spend time with them. You could lose a lot along the way. So I really want to encourage all of us that, while we're building the business, we might not have a whole lot of money, but if we prioritize our family, even if it's just going to Cold Stone Creamery every Friday, grabbing ice cream, spending time with the kids, having time to decompress with the family, that is an investment that is going to be worthwhile. So when you are successful, you're all successful together. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yes. They feel like, because they're part of that, they're vested in it.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. They shouldn't feel that the success was at the expense of their time with you.
That's right. And you actually hear that a lot from children of successful people, that they have the financial means and they're being bought this and they can get this or they can get that. But when you look at the quality time, it's non-existent.
Exactly.
and the memories are not present. So what you're honing in on is key. And I actually wrote it down. I wrote God and family are the main priorities.
Yeah.
Everything else is blessed because of those priorities. You have to do
Yes.
right by what you've been given. And so
Absolutely.
that's important. I'm glad you said that, because in order to have a healthy relationship with work, what I'm pretty much hearing you say is that you have to have healthy relationships with the people that are closest to you in order to be successful.
Absolutely. And really, the temptation is always there that, you know, the business or work is so important. I'll get back to people later. But I'm much older now. I have a lot of perspective. I'm 54 years old. And I just realized that relationships don't stand still. If you don't take time to invest in your friendships, your family, when you finally get where you think you want to go, you're going to be there all by yourself.
Yes.
And what brings joy, what brings meaning to everything you've accomplished is really the relationships you have and the people you can enjoy your success with. So I just want us to always keep that in mind as we are, working really hard to make our company successful.
Funlayo, this is awesome. Let's see what comments we have. Candy, who is also an entrepreneur, business owner, she says, that's good. And she put good in capital letters. Success should not be at the expense of spending quality time with family. Lisa says, thanks so much for this information. We have Megan in Atlanta who's watching. And Angela says, I'm here. Yvette is here. And Latasha's here. So if I'm missing someone, say, hey, let me know you're here. So this is good information. So we have about 5 more minutes. Is there anything else that you feel like you want to share that's pressing that you have not shared already?
All right. So one of the things I want to share, because this is something I am working on in myself, is the importance of self-care. To have a healthy relationship with work, you have to be healthy. And I know sometimes it feels like you're too busy to go to the gym. You're too busy to put together the right kind of food and go grocery shopping and everything. Invest in yourself. Because if you're not there, there's no business, there's no mom, there's no wife, there's no partner. It's all gone. So for me, going to the gym, and sometimes I will actually escape from my family. The kids, they might be cool. I'm like, you know what, if mommy doesn't have it together up here, you guys, there's really nothing for you to enjoy. So it's for your sakes that I have to get out of this house and go do yoga or go do whatever I have to do, because I know it makes me a better mother, it makes me a better business person if I'm mentally all together. So I just want to encourage ladies. I know we always put ourselves last, but by investing in yourself, eating well, exercising, resting, time out with your girlfriends, going to a spa, it's amazing how that will recharge your battery. Sometimes we think, working is what's going to get us further. Sometimes just disconnecting and shutting down for a season actually makes you more productive. So this holiday, I know we don't have a whole lot of time. After I did my last travel event, I said, I am completely disconnecting from work. I'm going to hang out with the family. We're going to binge watch Netflix. We're going to, just spend time just mentally decompressing. And I can actually feel myself being revived and ready to go into the new year with, some energy. So ladies, please invest in yourselves. You're so worth it. And, the rewards of you taking time to rest and reconnect with yourself will reap great dividends in the new year.
Absolutely. I hope y'all are getting this. Send me some hearts, some thumbs up, something. This is good information. Alicia Dalton just joined us. She's the COO of her company. And she's like, hi, I'm here. And so she's been tuning in a lot during this segment. Candy was one of our speakers. Lisa's actually a student working on her master's in counseling. So this is all information for her that she can share for herself, but also she can share with her clients and her loved ones. All right, we have those hearts. We have those thumbs up. They're coming through. Keep them coming. If you have any questions, we have a few more minutes, so please type in your comments or questions so that Funlayo can respond to you. Okay, this is awesome. Okay, so Funlayo, as we're coming towards the end, and I'll look for any questions or comments that may come up, what are some last few tips that you can give them that they can actually walk away with? Because one of the things that I tell them is that this is not about setting resolutions. This is about lifestyle changes, doing something different in the long run. And I've said it every day now for this past week that now we're at day 30. It takes what, 14 days or 21 days to create a habit, right? I always get the number wrong, but I know it's one of them. And 21 days, my husband says 21 days. So 21 days to create a habit. At this point, from listening to tips every single day, you probably have already created some habits from what you have learned. That was the purpose. So that when you walk into 2020, it's not just some quick idea about, oh, I'm gonna try this. No, we've been trying to groom you and equip you and prepare you for 2020 with simple things to help you do something different. Because we know when you're getting information, it shapes your thinking and therefore shapes your behavior. That's the main goal. So I'm hoping that you guys are getting what you need. But I'm going to stop talking because I get excited about this. I'm still in shock that I'm doing this. So I'm grateful. And so Funlayo, tell them what tips you have for them just to kind of close out in something that they can walk away with.
So I would say, define what you want. Just be very clear about what you want, lifestyle wise, family wise, be clear about what you want. And then prioritize the things that you're doing based on your values. Like I said, one of my values is to really put the Lord first. And so based on that, we changed. We were going to a good church, but we needed to find a different church where we could live out our values, where we weren't just spectators, watching people sing and do stuff. But this was a small enough church where, we had to get out there, feed the hungry. And, if we didn't show up, there would be only two other people there. That was, once you figure out what your priorities are, then it's very easy for all the information that you're getting from these seminars for you to kind of organize them so they fit into what your values are. And for me, it's God, it's family, it's my business. And even within my business, it's people first and then profit. And that affects the kind of decisions I make.
Okay. Y'all got this? This is good information. Alicia says, yes, put the Lord first. Amen. And this segment has been so valuable to the community. Amen. So this is good. This is good. All right. Yeah, I got this information. This is amazing. Before we go, Funlayo, I want you to tell the people what is coming up for you in 2020 and how can they connect with you on social media?
Awesome. So social media, Funlayo Alabi, at Funlayo Alabi is my handle. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook. I would love for you to connect with me at the Shea Radiance. That's SHEA Radiance, RADIANCE on Instagram and Facebook. And also check out our website. If you have kids with eczema, if your skin is super dry, I think you'll find something that you're going to love on our website. We have raw shea butter. We have black soap. All these things formulated in-house just for that woman who needs to pamper her skin. So we are here for you. Sharon, 2020 is going to be an amazing year. Probably a lot of travel, to Morocco, where I work with women in Africa, and maybe Togo. And I'm also planning a trip for anyone who might be interested in October of 2020 for people who would like to visit Ghana. We're trying to put together a tour. So if that's something that is exciting to your audience, I'll share it with you and then you can share it with them. Please, and hopefully you can come with me. We'll have a lot of fun.
We're gonna talk offline about Ghana and how I've been trying to get there, but we'll do that offline.
We want to make it
Wow.
accessible to, to more people who have always had it in their hearts,
Yes.
but are looking for friends they can go with. So, we
Mhm.
can do that. So that's what's
All
coming up
right.
for us.
Okay, all my people, Ghana 2020, and
Let's do it.
some of you know why I want to go or why I need to go.
Huh.
So let's talk, y'all. This might be a nice getaway for me. So this is awesome. So Funlayo, thank you so much again. It has been a pleasure.
Sharon, thank you for having me. You are right. The time went by so fast, and I
Yes.
really enjoyed connecting with your audience. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you again. And I appreciate it. And congratulations again on much success. And I know this time around, it's going to be bigger and better, but it looks like you are putting things in place and God is making a provision for you. So I'm just grateful to be able to witness it. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys. So that's it for day 30. If you're catching it on the replay, make sure you put hashtag replay and ask any questions. Myself and Funlayo can still come back into this thread and respond to any comments or questions that you may have. And so please remember to just chime in and let us know if you have any questions you have. All right, guys, have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow on day
Night.
31.
Yay.
Well, bye,
Good night.
guys.